Yo, what's up with y'all, bro? Real quick announcement. I'm gonna tell you guys the reason why I had showed you guys that clip in of Rashad, Jamal and young Pharaoh. I had, they were arguing in the beginning of the clip of all the video with all the parts that I had sent you guys. The food line situation, yeah. I showed you guys that, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you know this already. But for the ones that's all the way in the back that don't know, I showed you guys that clip with young Pharaoh and Rashad Jamal. I showed you guys that in the beginning of them arguing back and forth to show you to compare that to my situation of my story. Okay, so the story I gave to you guys saw the story, so you guys already know that I had got into it with somebody or whatever, whoopty woo. I got into it with the person inside of outside the parking lot or whatever. Or I didn't get into it with him, but y'all saw the story. Like, we looked at each other, we exchanged a couple words, whatever. The reason I showed you guys Rashad, Jamal, and young Pharaoh in the beginning is because I wanted y'all to see, like, that's the same thing that happened with me and the dude in the parking lot. You can't have two people that are in their ego going at it. If two people that are in their ego are going at it, it's just gonna be destruction for both of them. It's just gonna be total chaos. All right. So what I'm trying to explain to you guys is there has to be somebody that's knowing of themselves. There has to be someone around, or somebody that knows what's going on, somebody that can take control of the situation, someone that's in their right mind. So with the young Pharaoh situation and the Rashad Jamal situation, it was the same thing. You saw both of them bickering, right? Or no, I'm tripping. I'm so sorry. They weren't both bickering. You saw young Pharaoh was the one that was in his ego at the time. And much love to young Pharaoh. Peace, love, and much gratitude. I'm not talking down on him at all. I have so much respect for anybody that's in the spiritual community. And for people that say that young Pharaoh is an agent and all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. Look, man, I don't get deep into all that type of shit. I feel like, but I'm going to give y'all my personal opinion real quick about young Pharaoh. I feel like young Pharaoh, truthfully, I feel like homie just going through a fucking awakening. I feel like homie just going through some shit. Like, y'all gotta remember, dog, we were once like young Pharaoh. Before, when we awoken, we were in a stage where we were going crazy. Didn't know what the fuck was going on, maxing out shit. I don't know about y'all, but I know I've been in stages like that. Like, I feel like y'all can't be so quick to judge. Y'all can't be so quick to look at that nigga like, like he's a maniac now, da-da-da. He's maybe, you gotta understand though, look at all the fucking universal and spiritual work he's put in before this stage that he's in right now. So how the fuck can y'all call him an agent if he's already put in so much knowledge and information for you guys? That goes to show you that he may be going through an actual blessing in disguise. So for all the people talking shit about young Pharaoh right now, like, oh, he this, he that, oh, he changed, he did, y'all fucking up y'all own karma. First of all, y'all already fucking up yourself because y'all talking on somebody that's very divinely protected in the spiritual realm. I don't give a damn what he's going through right now, my nigga. Y'all gotta remember not to judge situations. I don't give a damn what he's doing right now. I'm not into that. That's not my business. What I do know is I've seen the good in him. I've seen him do a lot of divinely universal work that we're all doing. If you're watching this video, you probably a divinely healer. You know what I'm saying? So a life healer. So I ain't in all that. But in regards to this situation though, in the video that I put in that beginning clip with Rashad Jamal, young Pharaoh, young Pharaoh was the one in his ego at the time. We've all had that time. And he was the one that was in his ego that couldn't control his anger. He was mad, and instead of using his mind and being in his right mind and using that anger, transmuting that energy of anger into a regular conversation. Because you saw Rashad Jamal. He was trying to talk. He was trying to talk calmly. He wasn't even geeking to talk, though. Like, dude kept cutting him off. Rashad wasn't geeking to, like, raise his voice. Rashad wasn't geeking to be loud or none of that. You see what I'm saying? That's because Rashad was in his right mind. Rashad wasn't in his ego. You see what I'm saying? You see how, and I talked to y'all about this in all my videos, like, how, like, signs are programmed and all that, even that video. Signs your program, I mentioned about how, you know, you can't judge books by its cover, because a person could be over here calm, collective, and all that. I don't give a damn how. Look at Rashad Jamal. That nigga look crazy, don't he? Like, he look like he would kill a nigga, but he not going to. You saw he was in his right mind. He knew how to handle the situation. Now, if Rashad Jamal reacted to young Pharaoh and retaliated the same way, then what was going to happen? It was just going to be both bickering. Nothing was going to be solved. Shit. He kept saying in the video, send me the Addy, send me the Addy. Rashad would have sent the Addy, or Rashad would have got an Addy of young Pharaoh, whatever, and they would have fucking blew each other's heads off. You see what I'm saying to you? And I compare that situation to the situation with me in the food line, with dude in the parking lot. Dude was like looking at like, what's up? What you trying to do? I'll leave you right here. Dude told me. He told me to my face, I'll leave you right here. And he started reaching. He told me he would leave me. Like, he would leave me in this parking lot right here. Me, if I was in my ego, bro, if I was like young Pharaoh, then, nigga, even if he did not have the gun, like I said, it still would have been a brawl. You know, it would have been ego on ego. That guy didn't want to show nobody that he no bitch. And then if I was in my ego, I wouldn't want to show nobody that I was no bitch. So, obviously, though, you see I wasn't in my ego. Meaning, I'm not greedy. I'm not geeking to, you know, tell this nigga like, nah, nigga, you don't got no gun. You a bitch for real. You know, my discernment sees through that. I see already who he is as a true being. But if I'm in my ego, that means that I'm already going against divine, because now, instead of using my powers and my energy to just walk away from this nigga and just give him the moment of his ego, whatever, I'm using my powers for bad now. I'm retaliating to this dude, you know, going crazy off the wire, and now we about to go crazy. You know, it was going to fuck up my situation. It wasn't going to make neither one of us look good, whether he pulled the gun out or not. It wasn't going to be pretty for neither one of us. Even if he pulled the gun out and shot me, he still would have been dealing with some shit. I would have been out of the realm, and he would have been guilty. First of all, the ancestor would have tormented the fuck out of this nigga's brain conscious. He'd been guilty as hell, but not only that, he'd have been guilty spiritually, but he would also been guilty physically. He would have been scared, ducking the 12, all this type of dumb shit. You see what I'm saying? So even if he did have the gun, now if he didn't have the gun, what? It would have, if he didn't have the gun, I would have still been getting on him, and he still wouldn't want to hear all that. He may have hopped out the whip. We would have been fighting each other or some shit. Or if he didn't have the gun, you know, I still would have been talking my shit to him, you know, and it would have, you never know what could have offended him, and he would have just wanted to fight me. You never know. But at the end of the day, that's when it happens, when two people are in their ego. But when one person's in their ego rather than two, and then that other person that's not in their ego, that obviously means that other person's what? In their higher self. It's only two ways of this, guys. It's duality. Like I said, down here is duality. So it's just like humanity. 98% of humanity is in their ego. That 2%, 1% of people is in their higher self. But it ain't no in between. You're either in your ego or you're in your higher self. So if you're in your higher self, you're going to handle the situation differently, and everything's going to be just fine. And you're going to receive the blessing out of that because you didn't do nothing. You didn't react. You didn't retaliate. That same thing happened with Rashad Jamal and young Pharaoh. And if you actually do your research on these guys, you'll see that Rashad Jamal got the more favor in this situation. In that situation, people like Rashad Jamal more, kind of, because Rashad Jamal didn't react. He showed the people on that live that he doesn't care about clout. He don't care about looking big or bad on the screen. You see what I'm saying? Young Pharaoh was in his ego. He probably had so many different emotions going through his head, so he felt like he needed to do this shit for the camera. You know, woo-de-woo. You know? So, I just wanted to confirm that with you guys and clear that up. Let you guys know why I actually put that young Pharaoh and Rashad Jamal video in the beginning of my clip, alright? With all that being said, I just want to give y'all that quick, you know, introduction. Or, you know, that quick little, you know, confirmation. Because I know a couple of y'all are curious and confused, wondering. All that being said, I hope you guys having a great grand rise and enjoying this energy that we got going on. Peace, peace, peace. I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm gone. Slap.